Hello, my name is Azzy. I'm from Sydney. I have a question about getting inside the character's mind. I understand McKee suggests to go and delve right into the character's mind and understand exactly what he or she is thinking. I'm just wondering, as a male writer, any tips you can suggest to go into the mind of a female character, and vice versa, as a female writer, how does a female go into the mind of a male character?
That's a wonderful question, because there's a little politics here, a little sexual politics going on, in which certain people will argue that there's no way that men can write female characters because they simply can't understand women. But women, on the other hand, have every right to write male characters because women understand men completely, okay? And so there's a polarity of opinion on all this. Let me point out a few writers. Ingmar Bergman. Ingmar Bergman writes great female characters all the time. His masterpiece Persona is a story of two women, an actress and a nurse, in a very intense relationship. He creates great female characters constantly in his great films and his television shows. A male writer named Flaubert created a great character called Madame Bovary. And in fact, Flaubert got in trouble for that novel. He was accused of writing pornography, and he was put on trial because it was thought that the novel Madame Bovary was pornography. And when he was sitting in trial, the prosecutor came after him, and the prosecutor said, Madame Bovary is a whore. And Flaubert responded, Madame Bovary et moi. Right? How do men create great female characters? They simply ask the question, if I were in this situation, what would I do? Because we're all human beings. And it's not difficult to imagine yourself, if you're a man, being in a situation as a woman, asking yourself, what would I do in this situation if I were a woman? You would do the human thing. And the more you understand your humanity, the more you're able to understand the humanity of every other human being, man, woman, child. And the reverse is true. Women can write great characters, great male characters. One of the most brilliant novels I've ever read about the male mind is entitled What I Lived For, and it was written by Joyce Carol Oates in the first person. And so she just became a man and wrote this wonderful character and got in his head. And page after page after page, as I read this novel, I kept thinking, this is me. This is every man I've ever known. This is how guys think. This is how we rationalize. This is how we cope with things or don't cope with things, whatnot. Now, how could Joyce Carol Oates know that much about men simply by asking herself, if I were in this situation, what would I do? And she would find the human truth. And then she turns around and she writes a great novel about Marilyn Monroe. And then she writes another great book about boxing. I mean, writers are artists who are both male and female in their natures. They have great sensitivity to the world like a woman. They have great imagination as well, like a man. And they mix this all together in their own humanity. And therefore, it's really not difficult for a talented writer to just shift from one person's mind to another. All you have to do is ask yourself, if I were in these circumstances as this character, what would I do? And you would do the human thing. And if you understand the difference between the human thing and the cliched thing, then you can write in either sex.